high school. He lives in North Carolina now.
That's why I said that he's a black thing.
Yo, Ben, what part of North Carolina do you live in?
Fayetteville.
Oh, Fayetteville.
Oh, I know where that is.
Yeah, where does your parents live? Wilmington? Oh, my roommate's parents live in Wilmington.
Oh yeah, that's not far from here at all.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's probably like an hour and some change, I think.
Yo, you should, how far from Myrtle Beach are you?
2 hours.
We're gonna be going there for spring break. You should come visit one of the
Bruh, I'm not even like standing on my back porch like firing off cap guns from Dollar General right now, bruh.
What?
Kyle, me and Kyle went to Myrtle Beach like 2 months ago today.
Yeah.
And we went and hung out and stayed the night at Julia's house, Julia Owens.
Yeah.
And like went out to a club and shit. And that was literally probably like the most fun I've ever had in my entire life, so.
Really?
I'm literally like beyond down to come down there again. And I know for a fact that Kyle will do it too.
Dude, yeah, invite Kyle too.
Hey, quick question.
Yo.
How old are you?
I'm 24 with 2 kids.
Wow, you sound like you're 90 and you smoke cigarettes every day. I'm sorry, but like, damn, your voice is deep.
Bro, dang, bro, smoke cigarettes though? It ain't raspy, it's just deep.
Tonight? I mean...
Nah, I don't smoke cigs.
Okay, good.
I just smoke a lot of pot.
I mean, I could do that. I wouldn't be the best though, cause I feel like shit. Oh, well, I mean,
Dude
yeah,
said,
I probably don't have to be there, but
dude
if they
said you
ask her,
sound
she
like an
wants
old
me.
ass man that smokes cigarettes.
Would you say, Ben?
Your boy's like, yo, you sound like an old ass man and you've been smoking cigarettes for 90 years.
Ben, you do sound like that. What do you mean?
I just got a deep voice. I don't think I sound all raspy like I'm smoking.
You sound like you're definitely like smoking something, but that's because I know you are.
I actually haven't smoked today. I just packed my bong, but
Yeah,
I didn't want to cough in
just
y'all's
'cause you
ears.
didn't smoke
So
today does not mean that you do not smoke every other day.
I don't know why you guys are hating right now.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying you definitely do smoke every single day.
I don't even touch that stuff.
Yeah, okay.
What, do I look like some scumbag?
No, you don't look like a scumbag. You just look like you smoke weed every day.
I don't look like I smoke weed every day. I used to when I was like 15 maybe, but
I don't look like I do.
I do it, but I don't wear no tie-dye with fucking long hair and none of that.
That's Johnny, bro. That is literally Johnny.
Johnny literally tries to look like a dirty Mexican stoner and he succeeds
know,
so well.
I hate it too.
Every
I'm like,
time-
bro, go get a haircut. He's like, I did. Like, no, bro, you got like 1 inch of your long ass shaggy hair cut off. That is not a haircut.
You literally look like, he literally looks like a fucking greaser from The Warriors or fucking The Outsiders, one of them 2 movies. Literally looks like a greaser out of there.
Dude, bro, you gotta stop because I cannot focus.
Every time that he says something to me, I'm like, shut the fuck up or I'm gonna deport your ass, bitch. And he's like,
Yo,
he'll just be like, fuck you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, your hair is literally greasy because you're so Mexican.
Your hair is
And
literally...
he gets so mad, bro. It's hilarious.
Bro, I cannot focus on this game right now.
John's fucking shampoo is literally like a 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, and grease. He
Bro,
just
Jack,
fucking lathers.
Here, I'm gonna win this game, Jack. I got you.
He just fucking lathers his shit in that too.
He usually just uses grease, I think.
Facts. He thinks he's got a weave on or something. Watch, we're gonna call him one day and he's gonna be sitting there wearing a wave cap with his fucking Mexican hair. Like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh, I just put grease in my hair, so I'm trying to. I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is the last time we ever speak.
What in the fuck? Oh my god.
Here's Wijnaldum. The defending has been fabulous in this game. That's why with 5 minutes left, it's still 0-0. Striding forward, purposefully. Lucas!
Where's Noah working?
No, I don't know where Noah is, to be honest.
Yeah? He's just swinging his dick around, he ain't even getting on here.
Let
me call him.
So, bro.
I don't think I've ever called him, but I'm gonna call him. Just call him and be like, yo, get on.
No, bro. See, that's what I mean. Like, I wanted to pass the ball way before that, but instead he just took a touch.
Just took a touch?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know what you're getting at with that.
He like pushed the ball out in front of him instead of like doing what I wanted him to.
Can you slide tackle people in that game?
Yeah, you can slide tackle people hard.
Yeah, I probably would do that too much.
I know I was facing the wrong way, bro, but fuck. Just tied. That's fucking AIDS, bro.
You seen Nuggets super awesome Snapchat stories, Max?
Yeah, bro, I see that every single day.
Yeah, bro, gotta get your Hempwick special in on a daily.
Hempwick special, yeah.
This motherfucker literally says baby 4 to 8 times per minute. Like, minimal. Literally starts his video, yo, baby, what it do, baby? Just had a good day at work, baby. You know what I'm saying, baby?
Just really want to get some Hempwick special in.
Yeah.
You already know how to do, baby. You already know what to do.
Got a full pack of the greeners. Get this Hempwick special.
Bro, he's so annoying. Like,
Dude, he's literally lost his mind.
I know.
Like, you remember when we were in high school and he was like a normal person?
No, in high school he was definitely not normal because he would go home and freaking smoke weed and like do drugs.
Hey now. Hey now. Ain't nothing wrong with smoking some weed during lunch. Alright? Not doing that other shit that he got caught with was his problem.
What was that? Was that pills?
Yeah, I can't remember what type of pill though. I think Xans or something. Well, we were like fucking 16 when he got caught with that shit.
Yeah, he's not smart.
Nah. Dude is sitting there trying to sell weed to everybody in lava. I'm like, you do realize that everybody else that smokes weed around here has also done that and didn't get caught like an idiot?
Oh my god.
He's like a retarded version of Gimli from Lord of the Rings. But nah, dude, like, at least back in the day when you talked to him, he at least had, like, some sense of fucking common sense in his mind, like...
Yeah, bro, now he's like a drug dealer who's like a fucking hardcore Republican Trump supporter, like, what are
And then
you...
and then on top of that, this motherfucker, like, you literally can't talk to him because his brain's so fried out. Like, he's sitting there, like, you can't have, like, an educated conversation with him. That doesn't exist. That'll never happen.
Did you see his story the other day where he posted, like, this other drug dealer saying, like, I should have robbed your ass and shot you? He was like, okay, pussy, like, I'm about it. I look like,
God.
Bro, Nugget, you are a 5'4" fat kid.
Literally, I'm not
You-
exaggerating. If I fought Nugget, I would literally walk circles around him. And
He'd have to
it
take
would
a hit
be
of some
no
weed
contest.
before he fucking like right in the middle of the fight, because he's just so fucking fried out.
So I don't care, we could smoke bongs in between rounds and I would still walk circles around him. Let alone someone that's like in the trap fucking trying to sell and has guns and all that. Like, yeah, go ahead and fuck with that. Let me know how that goes for you. All that weed you got in your car and that money you brought in your wallet, yeah, it's not yours anymore.
Wait, Jack, what do you mean 700? I have been bidding 700. Fucking lag on this game from stream to game.
Do you talk to Josh V, Max?
Not like, not like often, but when I go home, I usually see him and I talk to him.
Do you hear about him snitching?
What?
You hear about him snitching?
Who do you snitch on?
The plug that I gave him when I left New York.
Really?
You remember Caleb Masso?
Caleb Massa.
He was in my grade when I was in like 5th and 6th grade. He moved away when we got into like middle school and shit.
Oh, I
What?
think so. I think
Well-
that name sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, he wasn't around for that long, so you might not have knew him that well, but there's this kid that I kept in touch, because like when he came to Laville, like the 2 years that he was there, he was like my best fucking friend. Like we hung out every day and shit. So, and every weekend and all that. So when he left, we always kept in touch and shit until we were older. And then when I graduated, one day he was just like, hey, do you smoke or whatever? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, I sell all this shit, like you can come get it. And I was like, alright, bet. So I started selling his stuff before I left New York. And I would just like, not a lot, like not no like fuck, I'm not like Ross or anything, but like if I was gonna go pick up, I would just call my friends and be like, hey, if you want something, I'm going to get it. And they'd be like, alright, this is what I want. And I'd be like, alright, well, it's this much. And really, it was like $50 more than what it actually was, but I just do that. And I got it for Josh a lot. I would get him some so he could sell it. And when he was at school, before he snitched on Cameron and all that.
Oh, he snitched on Cameron?
Yeah, he's the one that snitched on Cameron. But
Bro,
then,
you know why that happened? You know why that happened?
Somebody told me a while back, but I can't remember.
It's because so Cameron was dating Morgan Bird, and when they broke up, Josh fucked her. And so Cameron got really pissed off because he was like, bro, I'm selling drugs for you. Like, I'm literally doing your dirty work, and you went and fucked my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, well, apparently, you know, Josh does that, and then Josh snitches on him. But I've been very, very close with Josh since we were both in, like, 6th and 7th grade. Like, I've always been good friends with him. I'm sure you knew that. And I always kept in touch with him after I moved down here and all that. And when I was in New York, he came to visit me before I moved, and we hung out a lot, like, over the summers and shit. And so I considered him, like, one of my closest friends. And when but I like Caleb a lot more than I like Josh, though. And when I left New York, Josh asked me, he was like, hey, since you're leaving, can I have Caleb? And I was like, and I already gave it to Brandon, because Brandon's been my best friend for a very long time. So I gave the Connect to Brandon, because Brandon needs that to, like, feed his family and all that. And Josh doesn't. But I gave it to Brandon, and I asked Brandon, like, you cool if I give it to Josh? And he said no. So I, like, went back on, like, my best friend in this whole world. I went back on him and still gave Josh that Connect after asking him. And
Why?
Josh, just because, like, Josh wasn't going to be selling to any of the same people as Brandon, so it shouldn't have been a problem. And I didn't really care to try to tell him no and have him be like, oh, I did all this for you just so you can not do it for me, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck it, just don't tell anybody. 2 weeks later, Brandon hits me up and he's like, yo, so why'd you let Josh go to Caleb after I told you not to? I'm like, yeah? So he literally went and told Brandon that he's been going up there and all this, which so I'm like, whatever, like, I don't really care that much. Because it's like, it's my connect anyway, so I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want with it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't really care, but Josh was going back and forth to Caleb and going with like Brandon sometimes, and him and Brandon were kind of like splitting whatever they could so they could both make money sometimes or whatever. And Josh went up to Caleb's one time on his own and he bought 4 pounds.
Oh my god.
And like a half ounce of oil, which is controlled substance. And he got busted like as soon as he got back into Watertown. He got pulled over and he got busted with all of it.
Josh did?
Yeah. So he snitched on Caleb and got granted full immunity for it. And Caleb ended up getting like 8 felonies. And then that ruined that connect for Brandon, which took all the food that Brandon had for his family off of his table. And, you know, like, Brandon had to go get, like, all of his shit through somebody else who charged a lot more money. So he, like, couldn't afford to pay his bills for a while and shit like that.
Jesus.
And, you know, like I said, Caleb's one of my best friends, and Josh caused us two to get 8 felonies. And Caleb calls me one day, and the first thing he says to me when I answer the phone, he's like, hey, how you doing, whatever. And then he's like, how well do you trust Josh? And I was like, with my life. And he was like, you don't think that he would ever do anything, would you? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, I got raided last night or whatever. And I'm like, nah, like, there's no way Josh would ever do that. Like, why would he do that? You know, like, just my first reaction to think, like, he wouldn't do something like that. And then he's like, well, him and one other person came to my house yesterday and bought stuff. He's like, the other person's responded immediately. He's like, Josh has me deleted on all social media. And I'm like, what? And he sends me screenshots, and Josh had him blocked on Facebook, blocked on Snapchat, like, blocked his phone number and all that. So, like, everything that Caleb tried to message him on, it was like, you can't message him.
Really?
And so I tried to call him for like a week straight, and he didn't answer any of my calls. And he usually always would answer my call or call me back like immediately.
Yeah.
So finally, one day I just texted him, and I'm like, yo, like, I was like, after everything I've done for you for the last like 10 years, I was like, this is how you were paying me. I was like, you knew what you were getting yourself into when you went and bought that. I was like, you shouldn't be making anybody else pay for your consequences because you couldn't man up to them. No, like, you're a fucking piece of shit for that. I was like, you ruined my trust. I was like, you make me look bad doing that. I was like, I sent you up there. I vouched for you. I was like, you make me look bad. I was like, if I ever see you, I'm gonna literally fucking kill you. So you better pray to God when I come to New York that I don't see you, or I'm gonna fuck your ass up. And he literally never even texted. Yeah, he never texted me back or nothing.
So you don't like Josh anymore?
No, I'll kill Josh if I see him.
Jesus.
He's literally, he snitched on Cameron, snitched on my other plug, deleted me, Brandon, Caleb off everything. Like, I don't have a plug relationship with Josh. I have a friendship with him. He was willing to throw away multiple friendships instead of just taking his own consequences. He would rather throw away multiple friendships and make himself look bad and be a snitch.
So they caught him with 4 pounds?
Yeah, but if you ask him, what he'll tell you is he'll say, I had stuff getting in the mail and it got seized in the mail. He's lying because on the police report,
That's a felony.
it obviously doesn't tell you like who snitched, otherwise like it would be very obvious what would happen to that person.
Yeah.
But it said like on the police report, this person was busted with 4 pounds of marijuana and a half ounce of controlled substance, and that's literally exactly what he sold Josh and didn't sell anybody else anything even close to that. and then you're gonna wake up the next day and he's got you blocked on everything. It's pretty fucking obvious.
Dude, holy fuck. Why did he go and buy 4 pounds though?
Because he was trying to make money like that. That's how you make money. You get 4, because you gotta figure he's going out to Caleb.
What did he get? But what did he initially get pulled over for?
I have no idea. I don't know the details. I just know, the only reason I even know that he got pulled over is because that's what it said on the police report that Caleb sent me a picture of. It said that somebody got pulled over right like just inside the border of getting to Watertown, and when they searched the car, they found 4 pounds of weed, half ounce of oil, which is exactly what he sold him, and then that person told them what Caleb had and where all of it was inside of his house and everything, and then they came and raided him the same night.
Oh my god. Wow.
And Caleb had like a girlfriend, and his girlfriend's got a kid, so like he got endangering welfare of a child and all that out of it. So.
Jesus Christ.
Josh would have got a possession ticket that would have gotten reduced because he's never gotten in trouble. He would have saw no jail time, nothing on his record. He would have literally got 2 big ass fines and a slap on the wrist.
Why? Because it's his first time?
He does. Yeah, because he's never gotten in trouble and weed's decriminalized in New York now. So he would literally get 2 big ass fines. That's it.
So then why did your friend get 8 felonies?
Because he had the kid in his house, so he got like 2 charges for the kid, and then he had like scales and like $100,000 cash. So like you got like possession of a controlled substance, intent to sell, criminal sale of controlled substance, endangering welfare of a child. All that shit.
How long is he in for jail for?
He's not even in jail. He had like $300,000 saved. You just got a really good lawyer.
Oh, okay.
But
really? Where? New York. Really? This kid? This kid is not even in jail. He had 8 felonies and he's not even in jail now. Yeah.
I don't think he's actually served at the time, but he was facing.
no, there ain't no way that kid's gonna serve 25. He'll get reduced.
Yeah, no, they don't. Especially, even if they did put him in jail, in like a year, he'd be out. Because weed is gonna be decriminalized everywhere pretty soon, and they're gonna let everyone out who got charged for selling weed.
Well, it depends on how much, really. If they got somebody in there for like an ounce, they're gonna let them go. But if they got somebody in there for like 300 pounds getting smuggled across the Canadian border to go back to New York or something.
Yeah.
There's this kid down here because Kyle broke up with his girlfriend and got a new apartment. And
he broke up with her?
Yeah.
Weren't they like married?
No, they were together for a while. Yeah, they were together for like 4 or 5 years and had kids together, but
why did they break up?
I lived with them for like the first 3 months that I moved down here, and when you're around people all day, every day, you definitely learn their habits and their personality and stuff. And she is literally, hands down, the laziest fucking person I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
Like, this girl, and you're gonna think I'm capping, or you're gonna think that I'm exaggerating because I always throw out big numbers and shit. This girl would literally go to bed and sleep the normal person's like 7 to 9 hours of sleep, right? Wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, get up with Caden for about 20 minutes, not exaggerating, would go back to sleep for about another 8 hours while that kid ran around the house and did whatever he wanted as a 2-year-old.
Oh my god.
And like, I'm sitting there, like, me and my girlfriend slept upstairs, and like, I'm sitting there one day, and this is what like drew the final straw for me to like get pissed off about it. I'm sitting there one day, and this happened like all the time, but I'm sleeping, right, and I just hear wham, 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 over and over and over and over again. And it goes, and I'm thinking like maybe she's like hammering something into the wall or something, so it's only gonna take her like a minute and she'll stop. But like, you know how like if you put like cabinets on like, or you put child lock on like your kitchen cabinets, they can open like just a hair.
Yeah.
This kid literally is sitting here opening up a cabinet that opens up like just enough for the child lock, and he's just fucking slamming this thing over and over and over and over again. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. What up?
What?
Imagine being so fucking good, you get your own statue.
What?
Imagine
That's-
being so fucking good, you get your own statue.
Chandler, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, I don't know where that
Ibrahimovic
came from.
Got his own statue.
Who?
Oh, bro, Zlatan's a goat.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine being
Yo, bro, I gotta go eat, so I'll talk to you later.
no, Max, you're not gonna leave me with somebody I.
Bro, this is Ben. Ben's cool as fuck, and so I just did. All right, bro. I'll see you guys later. See you, bro. All right. Okay. Fuck you, dummy.